So I'm here at the side of the house. So I want to show you guys that I extended this part right here, and still in the process of finishing it. Before it was maybe just this literally just two squares, and so I noticed that it's it's a little too small, especially when I have that part right there. So then I decided it's too small, so I decided to expand. So that way it makes it easier to turn. Okay, so I just want to show you what I'm using to secure the ground. I put this here because this piece was not even, so when you step on it, it kind of like what do you call it? It's just not stable, and I'm not too worried about it because later on the ground's gonna it's gonna stabilize itself. I'm not too worried, so that's the reason why I put these two pieces on top, just to hold the weight, so make to help with the ground. So I'm gonna remove those two pieces before I put this spike. So what I do is I normally just put it through, and then I use a hammer and I hammer the spike in. And so let me move the two pieces first. And today I'm not wearing my tennis shoes because I forgot to secure. Okay, so once you're done putting the spikes into the holes, it looks like this. And then after that, when you're done, you see the gaps here? You apply the polymer sand in here so that way it holds this part and the pavers together. But since this, I don't want it permanent. If you want it permanent, like this right here, together to look like this, you use the polymeric sand. But since I'm only doing it for temporary right now, I'm not gonna put the polymeric sand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill in the gap with the leveling sand. That's what it's used. So you see this right here? This is the top part underneath the paver to even it and to balance the paver together. So that's what I use for the top part. And this right here is as good as a cement. If you're a gardener and if you can't decide how small you want your backyard to be, I recommend using the pavers. Do some research and make your own. You see how I'm making my own to fit the needs of my family? So I'm in the other part of the yard that is unfinished or is a project I'm working on. So this is the sand I use to build the pavers. So there's only required two types of sand, the paver base and the leveling sand. So paver base sand, it has more rock-like, and leveling sand looks like this right here. This is what I need. This right here is the top coat sand you need before you put the pavers down. I'm gonna show you what I use this for. Okay, so I'm back to this area. So you see how there's some gaps? If you want a permanent pavers, of course you don't use the leveling sand, but because this is not permanent, but it's stable. It stables and it will last you for many years. Because later on, let's say if I wanted to do something else, I want to take it out and create something else, then I could just simply pull out the spikes and remove this black piece here, and you just remove the pavers. But once you put the polymeric sand, it'd be harder for you to take them apart, right? Because the polymeric sand is kind of like a glue that ties the pavers together. But like I said, I don't want this to be permanent. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill in the gaps with leveling sand. So that way, because I still have rocks and I don't want the rocks to go into the gaps. So like here, there's some rocks here and I don't want the rocks to go in the gap. So what I do is I fill the gaps with the leveling sand. Okay, so here's some rocks. So I'm gonna move the rocks. So that way I could fill this gap with the leveling sand. Again, remember, this is not a permanent path. Right now, I like this path because it has enough space for us to go, from our side of the house straight to the backyard. The reason why I'm not doing it permanent is because later on, let's say if I want to decide to do something else, I can easily remove this piece of slab or pavers from the ground. Once I put the polymeric sand on, I mean, I could still remove it, but it just makes it harder because the polymeric sand, it's like I said, it's kind of like a super glue. It ties the pavers and the ground together, kind of like cement. But the reason there's a difference between cement and the pavers that, for me, I personally think that I could remove the pavers, the size, the piece, however I want it. To design my backyard to be, whereas the cement slab, once you create the size, later on, let's say the cement yard doesn't fit the size you want, or you want to change it, you can't. You know, it's there. If you break it, you can break the whole piece of cement. Versus pavers, when you do it yourself, and you know how to do it right. You know, you could size it up, size down, however you want to do it. Makes it so much easier to remove. For yourself without having to hire someone that costs you a leg and an arm. So this is like, doesn't cost you anything. There's no labor, just the material that costs. And everything else you do yourself. So here it is. It fills in the gap. Fills in the gap. Right here. And this part right here, you don't have to worry, because later on, these piece right here is be covered with you know, dirt, rocks, whichever material you want to put on your land, on your yard, and it's going to be hidden. So like the reason why this is not hidden, because this project has not been done. So today is complete. I put the last piece together. So the great thing about this, I forgot the name, but the great thing about this is that it comes in, forgot the size. I'll show you. I have a couple pieces left. You cut it to the size you need to fit the size of your project or the size of your yard. And this is the reason why I decided to use the pavers. This is a bucket I use for I scoop from the bag to put on the ground. So this right here is a paver. I decided to do on purpose. One, it looks really nice. Two, like I say, later on I could adjust the size of the yard I want. If this yard did not fit what I wanted to do in the yard, like I say, I could resize it, make it bigger if I feel like I need more space for the gardening, or I could stay to this size and create the size I want for the yard. So this project is complete for the size of the yard. Now I can rearrange these pots. And I didn't buy enough pots to cover this. It looks kind of like a fire pit for the outside, or a grilled, but we use it for Mien. That I'm just gonna call it 5-pit for Mien or Taoist religion, to burn papers for ancestors. So I'm gonna clear out this portion of the sand towards this side and leave like a few gaps here, because I want to have some gaps in case later on, you know how like we're cleaning this side of the yard. I need space for the water to go through, like a space for water to access out without you know, creating any floods, which won't be enough water to create floods. But I'm always thinking about, you know, providing areas for the water to go and not create any I'm always trying to figure out solutions for the yard, or to prevent any problem from happening. So that's one of the things. I'm creating a little space here. Let me see. Creating a little space here for the water to be able to go out that way. So what I'm going to do is right now I'm just going to rearrange this pots right here. So I bought this pot to put it here. So that way I'm going to bring that fire pit here. So I wanted to block the fire pit, but at the same time, I want that spot to have water flow. So I'm gonna put it here for now. Okay, once I remove all the plants, I remove all these plants. Now I have some space here where I could rearrange this area and put the fire pit somewhere right here in the middle where it could be hidden from the view, because we do need that. Okay, you guys, I'm finally done with this side of the yard. As you can see, I put some pots there. I have not planned anything yet because I'm just rearranging the pot to see if I like the way how it's arranged. So that way tomorrow I could put the plants in. And in tomorrow's video, I'm gonna rearrange this whole area here. Where's my finger? This whole area here, and see how it's gonna look like. So for the so thank you so much for watching my videos. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thank you so much. Mi mua ý chả đi chỗ vào những backyard chẳng nhảm bản kinh ăn lại là hại ồ. Ý chẳng hỏi ý chỗ bung như thế ồ. Lên chi mua mà những video. Và would like, subscribe, comment down below or lên chi ồ. Bye bye.